You say when.
Ya las vamos a dejar entrar.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Is everybody's trickling in? We're going to wait a couple minutes. Okay, so welcome everybody to our Valentine's cooking class. I'm glad to see people we always have on here like Mary and Evelyn. We will be, and Alicia, and we have some new people here. I see Priscilla's been on here before. Well, today it's going to be really fun. Not only are we lucky to have Isabela give us an awesome Valentine's class, but we will be raffling a couple gift baskets thanks to our friends at Capola Wine and Mum Num Wine. So we'll talk more about that. I'm going to put everybody's names as they trickle in inside the jar. And Isabela, let's have some fun tonight.
Yeah, everybody welcome. And welcome back, whoever's been watching these classes, and then welcome new people. I'm your host for this evening. My name is Isabela. And for those of you who don't know me and are new, I'm a photographer and a food stylist and a self-taught chef. And I basically grew up around food and a family that loves to cook and has some people who own restaurants, others who are chefs. So I basically grew up around food and always knew I wanted to do something with this. And today I have the honor of being here today and cooking together. So let's get started. And it's our special Valentine's Day class. And if you're watching, you can make this recipe for your special loved one, or you can always just double this recipe and you can feed 4 people. Because this recipe is for 2, but you can definitely double it and feed 4 and invite your girlfriends, invite family, whoever you want, whoever you love. So it's a special class and it's about love. And I bought all my ingredients at Northgate. And today we're going to be cooking shrimp and steak with rustic mashed potatoes. And as my abuelita would say, surf and turf. And it's one of her favorite platillos, entrees that she loves. So we're gonna get started. And what I have going on here is I have 2 ribeye steaks, and I'm gonna turn this off because I already hear it bubbling. So these I have 2 ribeye steaks that I'm gonna pat down with a paper towel. And I wanna make sure, because this is very important for cooking like a restaurant quality steak, or just making like a really nice cut of meat. What you're gonna have to do is take it out of the fridge about half an hour before you are actually gonna cook it, because that's gonna make it cook evenly, and it's gonna have that beautiful crust that you want. But first we gotta get rid of any extra moisture. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pat down our steaks, just like that. We're gonna pat them down dry. And these are 1-inch ribeye steaks that I bought at Northgate. And they look really good. Nice marbling and meat and fat. So what I'm gonna do here, after I pat down my steaks, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just like that. And this is important because some recipes ask for, we're gonna cook this in a cast iron, but some recipes ask to actually add the olive oil to the cast iron, but we're not gonna add any fat or any oil to our cast iron because we don't want those extra fumes and we don't want that extra mess. And the meat already, ribeye is a cut that already has a lot of natural fat. So you don't need the extra in the pan. So it's not gonna stick because it already has its natural meat. It's natural fat. So just gonna add a little bit more of olive oil. And what I like to do is I like to rub it in, just like this. And on the sides, I'm gonna clean my hands with this. paper towel. And what we're gonna do, and what is gonna help us to make a perfect brown crust and it's gonna help it to cook over here is you're gonna have to season generously with salt and pepper. Just season generously because this is gonna help to create that crust that you're looking for. And today we're cooking these steaks medium rare because that's the way me and my husband like to cook our meat. And be generous with the salt. And we're gonna flip them over. We're gonna do just like that. Lots of salt everywhere. Flip this guy over, just like that. Any questions? If you guys have any questions about the process, or about recipes, about anything, remember you can put them in the chat box. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add pepper. Just like that. I'm gonna flip it over again. And what I'm doing is I'm preparing my meat to continue to rest at room temperature. It's already been a couple of minutes out of the fridge while I was prepping, just like that. And you just wanna kind of rub the salt in, so you don't leave too much salt on the actual cast iron. So just like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it over here, just like that. And it's gonna continue to rest at room temperature. Because when steaks are at room temperature, they cook evenly and they just end up being better always if you cook them at room temperature instead of directly putting a cold steak on a hot iron. So we're gonna move on to our mashed potatoes. And I love these mashed potatoes because and I say rustic because they're pretty much, it is what it is, they're rustic. I leave, and if you wanna come and join, so they can see, that I left, what I have going on here is 4 medium Russet potatoes that I cut into chunks, and it doesn't matter, they don't have to be pretty chunks or perfectly diced. I leave the skin because I love how the skin tastes, and also it's easier, and it's just quicker and easier, and you don't have to be peeling potatoes for half an hour. So what we have going on here is just the boiled potatoes that I drained, and I have 8 tablespoons of butter in here, and that's pretty much it, and now we're going to add our ingredients and mash. So I have here half a cup of sour cream, and I have salt, pepper, and my favorite Lawry's garlic salt. This reminds me of all my family members who have it in their kitchen. It's like a staple in their home. So what we're gonna do is, obviously in a half a masher. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the butter so it continues to melt, and I'm gonna start mashing my potatoes. And I also want to mention that this meal cost a lot less than it would at a restaurant, and it's restaurant quality. So if you guys right now, you want to dine in, you want to cook for your loved one, you want to do something special, this is a great one.
So Isabella, you did say you already cooked the potatoes and you drained them, right?
Yes, they're boiled and I drained them. So no liquid. And what I just have going on here is the potatoes and a stick of butter, which is 8 tablespoons. So I'm just gonna mash. And they're not gonna be perfectly smooth because you're gonna have that, the peel. So don't even worry about getting it super smooth. You don't need to do food processor or blender or anything. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna add my sour cream. And they're easy because everybody has sour cream at their house. It's not like adding heavy whipping cream or heavy cream that you actually have to go and buy. Like you always have, well, I feel like I always have like sour cream in the fridge for baking or for anything. I'm gonna continue to mash. Oh, these smell really good. I wish you guys could smell these. And also this recipe it makes a little bit more than for 2 people mashed potatoes. And I want to mention that you can make taquitos de pata with this. If you have it left over, you can make, you can basically use it for anything else because you're going to have some leftover, or you might not because they're actually really good and you might actually want to do seconds or doubles or whatever. So I'm going to continue to mash like that. And then I'm going to add garlic. And this is to taste. You can add as much as you want. I like to add the garlic salt first because it already has salt, and then I'll finish with regular salt. But I want to add that garlicky flavor to these potatoes. Oh, and also what I have going on here, you can see, right, is a skillet that I'm, right now I have it in medium high heat. I want it to be really, really hot, but since we're cooking live, I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I already turned it on beforehand, so it gets really, really hot when we're searing our steaks. This is kind of hard work. I mean, not hard work, but I mean, I'm getting a workout in. An arm workout. I'm gonna do pepper.
And for all of you that don't have the recipe, I just put it in the chat.
Sorry, that's annoying. And just continue to mix. Like that. I'm just gonna use a spoon now. So here you have your garlicky, rustic mashed potatoes that is gonna go on a plate as a bed for our little cushion for our meat and shrimp. So I'm gonna set this aside because we're done. And what I'm gonna do here, any questions on the mashed potatoes? Any other questions, comments, concerns? What are your guys' plan for Valentine's?
Yes, we're good to go.
Okay, just want to get this one really hot before, I'm actually gonna put it in the middle. Because it does have to be really, really hot. Can you hear me? It does have to be really hot because we're just gonna sear our meat and then we're gonna put it in the oven. So here I have my beautiful steaks. And then I have my shrimp here. There we go. What you gotta grab? There's no microwave in this house, so I actually have to melt the butter in a little pan. So we'll start doing that because you're gonna need melted butter for the shrimp. There we go. Questions? No?
Is anybody cooking along with us today?
Yeah, is anybody cooking? That's always exciting to know.
I know yesterday we had a couple people cooking. No, I guess everybody's just looking.
Somebody's cooking. That's great. And this class is a little different because I'm actually doing everything actual time, so bear with me because I want this to be really, really hot because I want it to sear perfectly. Because I want to show you guys.
Isabella, they want to know what temperature they should have the oven at right now.
At 375 degrees. The oven should be preheated to 375 degrees. And you're gonna need your pinzas, your tongs. I know that one always gets me. Because we're gonna. And
there's a couple people saying that they're gonna make it for Valentine's Day, so that's
exciting. Yeah. My husband loves grilling meat, and he loves shrimp, so this is like one of his favorite recipes, you could say. Well, he loves meat, anything, but he also loves shrimp. And we do this a lot at our house. So it's getting there, it's really hot. if I were to have added oil, like this would already be like fuming. It would be like super hot, not super hot. It wouldn't be more hot. It would just be smoking. Smoking. So this is a good recipe for that. And there's also this trick that if you add water, you can know how hot it is. So I think we're good to go. And then, perfect. So we're gonna start searing our steak. And we're gonna do a minute on each side and then 30 seconds on each edge. I'm gonna add like that.
So I have a couple questions.
Yes.
So we have a conventional oven and she wants to know if it should be roast, broil, or bake. How should they keep that?
Just bake. Just bake.
Just bake. And then I have another one that says, are the steaks seasoned before you sear them? And you did do that, right?
Yes. Steaks are seasoned and generously seasoned before actually grilling them, searing them.
So I did put the recipe in the chat, but what I will do also is we're going to try to get the recording up by tomorrow so that if any of you guys want to go on our Northgate website, you guys will be able to follow Isabella as you guys are doing it at home.
Yes. Start searing them like this. And do season generously because as you can see, the salt and the pepper and some of the olive oil will stay on the cast iron. So that's why we always want to sear. When you're searing meat or chicken, you do want to season generously. And then when we get to our shrimp, we're gonna go a little bit easy on the salt because we are gonna cook him in the same situation, which is an easy cleanup. And I am cooking it a little bit longer than I mentioned in the recipe because this wasn't really as hot as I wanted it to be, but just letting you know that you should follow the recipe and you're gonna get really nice and seared.
What wine are you going to be pairing with your meat? Sorry, what wine?
Oh, we're actually drinking today, I think it's a Cabernet from Coppola, and I'll show you after. We're moving on. And then we just
so Laura is asking Isabella, is there another way to check if the meat is at a desired temp other than with the thermometer? Sorry? They want to know if there's a way to check if the meat is at a desired temperature or do they have to use a thermometer?
If you follow I'm going to place this in the oven now, so I'm going to answer that question because if not, they'll overcook. We're going to set the timer for 4 minutes. And Let me turn this off. Yes, if you follow this recipe, you will get medium rare steaks. If you want to actually use a thermometer, you can, and I can also let you know later on, or we can put in the chat later today, the exact temperature that you would need it. You can actually Google that. You can go online and search, because these are my recipes for medium rare, and I would just add a couple, maybe like 2 more minutes to the searing if you want to do like a well done or a medium steak. And when we reach, and you're gonna flip the steaks, you're gonna flip them halfway through in the oven. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna watch the clock. When it reaches to 2, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna turn them around so they cook evenly.
And you said 4 minutes in the oven, right?
Correct, 4 minutes. And when it reaches to 2, so halfway through cooking time, I'm gonna flip the steaks. I'll flip the steaks. And I love to grill on the cast iron. I think it's such a, it actually gives it this like flavor because it's already been cured. So it's really nice. I love cooking on it, and it gets really hot. It's one of those pans that it takes a lot of heat. So it's perfect for searing, perfect for grilling. You can even bake in it. You can even make like a cookie or a bread pudding in a cast iron. It takes heat. It's a good one. So we're gonna go and we're gonna flip our meats. It's 2 minutes. And also a good tip to mention is when you're buying your steaks, you want to have them ask the person in charge, the carnicero, whoever is there, ask them to give you the most, the 2 pieces that are actually the same like width, and just so they're very similar. So when you're cooking, you can use the same cooking time and the same method, and you don't have to wait for one to be done or the other. And if you don't find 2 pieces of meat that one's like way bigger than the other, I would always recommend cooking the thickest one first and then doing the same process like with the other piece of steak. Any questions? So
Margarita asked what kind of oil. You did not use oil, correct?
No, I did use oil, but on the steaks. I did a little bit did a drizzle of olive oil on the steaks before seasoning them, but no oil on the actual pan. And we're almost there, you guys. And this is a really important step. So if you're following along or you're gonna cook it on the weekend, this is one of the big ones. So we have 22 seconds left.
Is it virgin oil, Isabella, what you use, or just regular olive oil?
You can do regular, you can do extra virgin. I like to use extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so we're done. Take out our steaks. I'm gonna place them right here. You can also use avocado oil, which is really good for searing and for smoking because it reaches a very high, it can reach a very high temperature. So this is what you have to do. You have to remove your steaks from the pan, and you're gonna let them let them rest for about 10 minutes. This is super important. I know it looks really good and you wanna dig in and you wanna already bite into it, but you still have to do your shrimp, so it's a good one. If you wait for 10 minutes to let your meat rest, you're gonna have perfectly cooked shrimp that you're gonna place on top. So do wait. No sean desesperados, hagan caso, muchachos. Nice. So I'm gonna place my meat over here. This is gonna
delicious.
help to keep all the juices inside of the meat. And in the same pan, that you cooked your meat, which is, I love these recipes where you only use one pan, on medium-high heat, and don't remove any of the oil or any of those little pieces of meat that you see. This is gonna add so much flavor to your shrimp. So I'm just gonna let it get hot. And you're already gonna be using butter in your shrimp, so you technically don't need more oil. So here I have butter, and this is 4 tablespoons of butter, and this is half a pound of shrimp. I buy the ones that have the tail on because I think they look really fancy when you put them on top of your meat. But you can go for the ones that don't have tail if you think it's annoying or anything like that. Here. And we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of parsley, chopped parsley. This is gonna add so much flavor to your shrimp. And we're gonna do garlic, minced garlic. And I'm gonna go a little bit of salt, just like that, maybe like a pinch. And I'll do a little bit of pepper. But don't do too much salt on the shrimp because you already are gonna.
There's a question. They said that after you wash the shrimp, do you pat dry them and then add the oil, or?
Yes, correct. These are already washed, they're deveined, they're clean. And actually I buy my shrimp at Northgate already deveined and already clean, but I always do a little extra rinse and I pat them dry. So you're gonna go just like that.
Actually, those are my favorite shrimp because then everybody thinks I took forever.
So we're gonna go a little bit higher than that. Ooh, shrimpy shrimp. With the butter and the garlic and the parsley, just smells so good. I'm just gonna put them right in there. The butter.
Somebody asked if she could marinate the shrimp overnight.
You definitely can if you have the time. If you don't even worry about it. These are strong flavors like parsley and garlic that your shrimp will definitely have flavor if you don't marinate them. But it's all, I mean, if you have the time and you can prep, go for it. They're probably gonna be even better. So we're gonna cook these about 1.5 minutes each side. And you can see that the butter's melting again. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. You can see that the butter melted again with the heat. Oh, it smells so good. I'm gonna start flipping them. Ooh. And they get nice and brown because of the meat that was already cooked there. Nice and seared. Anybody actually cooking with us?
Yeah, we have, I believe, Jorge, who said he was cooking with us. So.
Oh, wow. That's great. His wife's probably going to have a great meal of this. Just like that. And don't get rid of that beautiful butter and garlic situation that's going to be left at the bottom because we're going to need it when we're plating.
So while you're cooking, I'm going to raffle our first basket tonight. So everybody's name's in here. Yeah. Wow, tonight's first winner for her basket is Patty Cole. So Patty, I actually have your email, so I'll email you so we could get that basket to you. Congratulations, Patty.
I'm just gonna remove them from the heat after I'm done cooking. I just place them over here. Let me know if I can continue or
no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, perfect. So I'm gonna bring back our mashed potatoes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna plate like this.
Let me just tell everybody, as you guys were coming in, I put everybody's name inside the raffle. We have 2 of our winners from Tuesday on here too. So yeah, we have everybody's name in the little can.
We're just gonna go like this. We're just gonna, you can do it, you don't have to do like the whole plate. You can just do like a little bed. It's literally a little bed for your steak. So that's what we're gonna do with the mashed potatoes. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab, and I'm only gonna plate one so you guys can see. And I'm gonna grab my steak. Gonna put it right here. This is a big one. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our shrimp, but you're gonna do half the shrimp on one steak and half the shrimp on the other. Look at that. Ooh. You kind of wanna do like a little tower of shrimp on top. Just like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of that butter, extra butter from our pan. And I'm gonna just like that. Gonna add a little bit of that butter. Garlic and parsley, there you go. And I'm gonna top it off with a little bit of extra chopped parsley for decor. Just like that. Or you can do more. I always like to top it off with a little bit of flake salt. And this one's called Malden or Maldon that I really like. It's a finishing salt. So here you go. Look at that beauty.
That is awesome.
Juicy, beautiful, and it has that perfect combination of the stir and the turf, and then on a beautiful bed of rustic mashed potatoes, which you don't have to peel 100 potatoes. You can just go like that, wing it, and yeah, this is our meal. And we're gonna, any questions?
Yeah, we have one question. We have a couple questions. So the first question is, if they're not a big meat girls or guy, could they use another type of meat? And I'm assuming they could have a breast or chicken.
Yes, you can definitely do chicken breast and kind of do it the same, searing it. And you can also do chicken thighs with skin. That will be amazing because the skin sears really great. Chicken breast doesn't have a lot of fat, which is fine. You can totally do that. But if you find there's some chicken, a bone in a chicken breast that have a little bit of skin on top, those would be great for searing and for kind of recreating what we get with the meat. You can also do fish, which I wouldn't sear and I wouldn't bake, but you can definitely do just like a nice pan seared piece of fish and then do some shrimp on top if you don't want to do meat.
Awesome. That looks delicious.
So any questions? Should we do another the giveaways or?
Yeah, let me do the other giveaway.
Perfect.
So the first basket was by our friends at Coppola. The next one's from our friends at Mom Napa. And the winner is Paloma. Paloma, congratulations. You're the next winner.
You'll be getting one of these. This is the Moon Napa. Okay, so should we move on? And since I was cooking all the way, all the time, and I didn't have time for the dessert, Northgate's got your back. And let's move on. I bought this really, really, really pretty fruit tart that they have available year round. Can you guys see it? Maybe we can do like a little zoom on that tart.
Wow, that looks beautiful.
It's so pretty. It's really pretty. They have smaller versions too. They have like individual tarts and you can do buy two or you can buy whatever. But it's really pretty. And so Northgate took care of dessert and I took care of the entree. And then we have some bubbly for our, this is the Moon Napa that we're talking about that you just raffled. And we're gonna open it. There we go. I'm a pro, don't worry. Don't worry, guys. And then we're gonna do some bubbly here. Somebody's getting excited behind the camera. Look at that. It's really pretty.
That's beautiful.
And it's, oh my God, everything smells amazing. Even the tart, I swear I can smell the strawberries. And also before we end this, have these really cute Valentine's cards that I got at Northgate, and they're actually free with a purchase of one of their floral arrangements. And all of these flowers you see here, these beautiful roses are from Northgate, and they have really pretty colors and really pretty arrangements. And look at this is just so cute.
Aww.
And it says, we're like trompo and pineapple. We simply go well together. Adobada. They're really cute. And yeah, you can create this restaurant meal, this fancy meal at home this weekend, and just go to Northgate and buy all your ingredients and buy the dessert because it's already made and it's delicious. And we can actually cut a piece and put it on that plate.
That is delicious. And to think you only did it in what, less than an hour? That is just amazing.
Yeah, because the steak is really, there's more time maybe in prepping it because you're gonna have to leave it a half an hour out of the fridge. But honestly, it's just, the cooking time is really quick and it's very basically, and very little cooking time. If you already have, and you can boil the potatoes a day ahead, you can make the mashed potatoes a day ahead. You can, if you have the time, you can also marinate the shrimp a day ahead and just basically just cook it and put it together that same day. And we're gonna cut a piece of this fruit tart that looks amazing. I love peaches.
And while she's cutting that, I just wanted to tell you guys, next week we start our seafood Lent classes. And I know, Isabella, we're gonna join you on Thursday with some awesome ceviche.
Yes.
Can't wait to see that. Yes. I think. Which Coppola wine are we?
Raffling?
No. Do you have?
Oh,
it's the claret.
I think it's the one from the wine that they're giving away.
Yeah, it's the claret.
So that does not look pretty the way I cut it, but oh my God, it's really good. Look at that. You can invite people over. Like I said, you can double this recipe or triple this recipe. If you double it, you can feed 2. If you triple it, you can, if you double it, you can feed 4. And if you triple it, you can feed 6. So you can have a couple's dinner. You can have your friends, Valentine's or Galentine's or whoever you want, your neighbor, somebody, your grandparents, I don't know. But
we're gonna, and Evelyn, we're gonna learn how to make ceviche de Camaron. So
yes, ceviche de Camaron con clamato, which is kind of Sinaloa inspired, and we're gonna do a michelada. Perfect for Lent, super easy recipe.
So all the classes, actually that class will be up tomorrow, so you guys could sign up, and I can't wait to start with that class next week.
Yeah, how exciting. Any questions? Any comments? If you guys actually cook this, remember to tag us. Remember, you can tag me. My Instagram is at Isabella M Funke, which I think it's available when you sign into the classes. I think you can see my bio and it's available there. And also tag us and use the hashtag Northgate Market, and so we can actually repost and actually see if you're cooking these recipes, because it's really exciting when I get those messages and people are actually cooking these recipes. It's really amazing. That's what I know. That's what I remember why I do what I do.
So guys, thank you so much, Isabella. I hope you have an awesome Valentine's. We want you to enjoy your meal. It looks delicious. Yes. Thank you everybody for joining us today, and happy Valentine's.
Valentine's Day.
Stay safe, everybody. See you next week. Bye.